Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you all stopped by today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my Oliver. And if you're returning, you guys are amazing. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. DIY number one. So I'm going to take a 12-inch wood round from Dollar Tree. I'm going to fill up the holes with my spackling. I also filled up the holes on these leaves from Dollar Tree. Then I painted the wood round with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Night Sky, and I used my metallics paints in the color Espresso and Warm Penny to paint the leaf. I also took one of these MDF loop or hoops from Dollar Tree. I painted it with the worn penny as well. And then I am taking my Type Bond quick and thick multi-purpose glue. I'm going around the hoop there, and then I just left some blank spaces for some hot glue. Of course, the hot glue is for the immediate hold and the multi-purpose glue is for the permanent hold. Then I'm just going to lay that right on top of my wood round. I'm going to use the Quick and Thick by Type Bond multi-purpose glue again on the back of my leaf here. I'm just going to go all the way around it on the inside of it. Make sure it's nice and covered. And then I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue around the edge again for the immediate hold. And then I'm going to put this right in the middle of my wood round. Now you guys, this is a super easy project. Any beginner could do this. It's very easy, and you could just make it with any colors that you have. I took some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a bow doing the awareness ribbon sign and then scrunching it up in the middle. I'm going to take some twine. I'm going to tie it around the middle here and tie it tight, and then I'll trim off the excess twine there. I'm going to dovetail the ends, which you just fold in half and cut at an angle. I'll show you that here just momentarily. And after I have both of my ends dovetailed, I'm just going to glue this on my sign. Like I said, this is a very easy project, and I think it came out very pretty. Again, very easy, just simple. It doesn't have any words on it. It just says fall on it. I mean, you can, what are leaves? Or maple leaves are good for the fall. And you know what? I was wrong. I forgot. I did this part. I took some beads, and these actually came off of a hanger from a Dollar Tree sign. I'm taking my worn penny, and I am just going to paint those. I stick them on the painter's tape there to keep them in place while I paint them, and then I'm just going to feed them through my hanger and put the hanger through. I put tape on the ends to make it easier to put the ends of the hangers through those holes. Then I'm just going to get it to the length that I want it and tie knots on those, and that's all there was for this. There's your hanger. There it is, super simple. I love it. I love that worn penny look. It is just beautiful. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay guys, I just want to pop in again real quick and just let you guys know how much I truly do appreciate every one of you who come to my video every week and watch and share and comment. Even if you haven't subscribed, or comment, I still appreciate all of you guys, and it just means the world to me. If you are new here though and you enjoyed today's video, and if you enjoy home decor on a budget, I invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family. And if you have hit that red subscribe button before, make sure you go back and check to make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube for some reason will unsubscribe you at times. So just make sure you're checking every once in a while, because you just never know when that's going to happen. So with all of that guys, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number two. So I'm going to take one of these pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use my Cricut spatula just to remove that top layer. It's kind of plasticky, but mainly cardboard on the back. I'm going to remove all that excess cardboard there. And then I'm going to remove the paper. Now you guys, this is super easy, but well, it does take a little bit of time, especially if the paper doesn't come off very easy. This came off really easy. But if you don't want to go through this step, you could definitely cover it up and paint the back side of it instead. But I always like my stuff to be have a finished look to it. I don't like to have any of that paper hanging over or anything, so I like to just tear off all this paper. You can also use your heat gun to help release some of that adhesive. But then I just sprayed it down with some water, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'm just using my paint scraper here to just scrape off all that paper and adhesive. Once I was done, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory and I painted the whole pumpkin, front, back, and sides. And then I let it dry, and once it was dry, I'm taking my square ruler here to make a line. I have that little wood word there from Dollar Tree I'm going to place on the bottom, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough room for it. So after that, I'm going to take the espresso metallic paint here. I love this paint. And I'm going to very carefully try and go right at that line and then paint below it. And I do also paint the sides. I don't paint the back of it with this. I just have that with the ivory color. But I am just going to paint the front part and the sides with this color. Then I got a little too much there, a little heavy-handed there, but yeah, I made it work. So once I have it all done, which will be any second here, I'm going to take some Mod Podge. I'm going to put it along the top part, the ivory side. I'm not going to put any of it along the metallic paint side, just up on the regular chalk paint. And I'm going to brush on the Mod Podge. I didn't add it to the stem. And then I'm just going to let it dry. And then I'm going to take a napkin from Hobby Lobby. I just saw this year. I just thought it was beautiful. And I absolutely love the way this project came out. But I put some double-sided tape on my fingers to remove the 2 plies that were behind it. And I have to tell you guys, if you saw my last video that had that beautiful plaid napkin on the pumpkin spice latte sign, that plaid did not come apart very easy. This came apart much easier than the plaid one. So I'm just doing this method where I put the parchment paper over the napkin to protect the napkin and use my heat press to cause the napkin to stick to that Mod Podge. Then I'm just going to trim off the excess napkin there. I use my little finger sander, I think, too, to get all the edges removed. And then I'm just covering it again with Mod Podge to help protect that. Then once that was dry, I had taken that sign, I painted it with the ivory. And before I add it, I decided, oh, I want to add something. And I'm going to add some of this beautiful braided jute ribbon is what I call it. I have it in my Amazon store if you're interested in it. I love using this. I use it a lot. On my last video, I said sometimes, and Lori Wheeler corrected me. She says I use it all the time. She's right. I do, because I love it. So I just glued that on and where the napkin and the metallic paint meet. And then I'm using my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue and hot glue on the back of my word here that says give thanks, and I'm just going to put this right on the bottom, just like that. And then I am going to take some twine and I'm going to wrap it around the stem, and I just put a little dab of hot glue on the back so that it will stick, and then I'm just going to wrap. Now I didn't need, other than right here, I didn't need to really add any more hot glue, but I wanted to make sure that this part stayed over the edge of that napkin, so that's why I added hot glue. And really the only other time I used the hot glue was at the very end of it. But you know, if you recreate this and need to use hot glue to keep it in place, you can always do that. So once I have this done, I'm just gonna hot glue the end, and I think it ends up right in the back too, or maybe it's right underneath the ledge there. Anyways, I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue and add that to it, and I'm going to do a finger bow, and I'm going to do a 3 loop. So I'm going to wrap my fingers 3 times with this twine. I'm going to bring that extra long tail down through my fingers and then up around those strands that are between my fingers, and then I'm going to pull really tightly so that it tightens up nicely. Then I'm just going to trim it off and hot glue it to the base of that stem there. And then I took some leaves that come from Hobby Lobby. They're already painted, and I'm just going to glue one on this side of the stem and another one on that side of the stem. And that's all there was. I love that napkin, and I just think the colors Oh, they're just beautiful. I really love this. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have this cute wreath form that Talitha made. She recreated mine. I love it. And Cindy, this little spider is adorable. And then we have all these sweet items that Debbie made. I love them. They are so cute. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your creations with me. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3. So I'm going to take this tag sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to just remove those little stars from the front or the top of it. They're really easy. They come off really easy. They just pull off the paper. And then I'm going to start removing the paper just like I did on that last project. This one was really hanging over, so there was a lot to pull off. And then again, I'm going to spritz it, wait 5 minutes, and scrape it all off. When I was done with that, I took this rice paper that I recently got from decoupagenapkin.com. I love this. This is just so gorgeous. And I'm going to just cut that in half because I'm just going to use the one with the squirrels on it. I laid it where I wanted it. I should have probably moved it over to the left a little because it's not quite centered. Didn't realize it. I don't know. My mind lately, since we have these little grandkids living with us, I have my mind going in 50 million directions. But anyways, I just marked where it was laying so that way I could use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory to paint in between those lines. And I'm just going to paint that rectangular sign. Oh my goodness. And then I'm just going to just fill it all in so that way that rice paper has that nice background. Then I took this burnt orange. You guys, I am loving this color this year. I'm gonna have to go get me another bottle because I've almost used this one up. But I'm going to paint the rest of this tag sign with that burnt orange. And I just love this color. It's so pretty. And this whole thing turns out so pretty. But anyways, I'm just gonna paint all of this front and back. And then once it was all done and dried, I'm gonna take some Mod Podge and I'm going to put it all along the inside part of this, the white part or the ivory color. Now, if you don't have this rice paper and you want to make something similar, you could do this with you could do it with a napkin. You could do a printable from online. You could just make it your own. You could do rub-on transfers, whatever you have to make this your own. I just loved this picture so much that I had to use it. So I'm taking some of these little reed bamboo sticks that I get from Amazon. I do think I have them in my Amazon store as well. I'm measuring them down. I'm going to make a frame with them, and I'm using my miter shears to cut them down, and I'm just marking where they need to be cut, and then I'll lay them on top of each other to cut the second one so that they're the same. And then I am going to I guess I'm going to add my picture to my sign. So I'm doing the same method with my parchment paper and my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge so that rice paper sticks. And then I'm going to again cover it with Mod Podge so that it protects it. I'm adding the Mod Podge to my brush so that way I don't get too much on my picture and have it wrinkle. So then I took those sticks that I cut and I'm going to paint them with my Rich Espresso. I guess it's Rich Espresso, not just espresso. And I am going to hot glue, or not hot glue, I'm going to use my Tight Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Purpose Glue, which is nice to use because you can maneuver it around. It doesn't take very long for this stuff to set, but it still gave me enough time to be able to move it around a little bit to make sure I had it, the frame, where I wanted them. But I'm just going to glue each of those pieces in place. And then once I had it all done and just like I liked it, I took some of this mesh from Dollar Tree. I love the leaves on these, and I was trying to figure out what I didn't want to put a lot on this sign because that picture is just so gorgeous, and with that burnt orange, I just think it just, I don't know, it just was beautiful. And I didn't want to add too much to it because I just thought it was so pretty by itself. So I'm just taking this mesh and I'm cutting out the leaves from it. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue on the frame and add those leaves around each corner, just like you see me doing right there. And after I have that one done, I'm going to do the next one. I did two on the bottom, one on each end, just the same way, but I had the leaves facing upward instead of downward. And then I took some of this burlap, I cut it down. I'm sorry, I didn't measure. I never measure. I just kind of cut it down and look at about the size I need or want. I'm going to glue them end to end. I'm grabbing my little finger protectors there. And then after that, I'm going to just scrunch them up in the middle to make it kind of look like a bow tie, just like that. Then I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to oh my goodness, I'm going to tie it. I'm going to tie it tight so that it holds that shape, just like that. And then just tie the knot. I did not cut the ends off because I had an idea. So I took some of these beads that came off of another hanger. I did not paint them. Maybe I should have painted that rich espresso, but I just liked the simplicity of the natural color. So I did not paint them. I'm just tying knots on the end of my twine there, cutting off the excess. And then I'm going to make a hanger. I think I might redo this one because I think it's a little longer than what I like, but I'm just folding that twine in half. I'm going to make a knot on the bottom, and I was struggling to get that other piece in there, but then I just pulled tightly, and then I'm going to bring the folded end through the back of the sign, and then I'm going to put the folded end inside the end with the knot, and then pull tightly and move that part in the back, just like you see right there. And then it's just going to trim that off. And then, I'm going to attach the bow. So I'm going to take some hot glue. I'm just going to use hot glue, and I'm going to glue that on to the back of, or to the twine there that's on the front of my sign. And that's all there is. I love how this came out. I just think it is so pretty. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well in the comment box below. DIY number 4. So I'm going to take one of these wood pieces from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint it with my burnt orange. And then I painted the front and the back. And then I'm going to go over the front with some white school glue. Now, you want to put a good amount. I was feeling like there wasn't enough, so I do pour in a little bit more. Now, this really isn't hard. The key to doing this crackle effect is that when you put your paint on, you try to only do 1, maybe 2 strokes. Because the more strokes you do, the less cracking you'll get. And I did a mistake here. I poured too much over. So yeah, don't follow me. Just do a little bit at a time. I didn't want to get glue on my brush and put it into my paint. So that's why I did it this way. But I would recommend like maybe pouring your paint into a little bowl or on a plate or something, and then dipping your brush into that so that you don't have this happen where you pour too much like I did. And I was trying to very carefully wipe it off without doing too many strokes on there. So after I had it all done, I just used my heat gun. Now you don't have to use a heat gun. You can just let it wait and it will crackle on its own. But of course, for video purposes, I needed to get it done. So I'm just using my heat gun, and there you can see it's crackling. I was holding my breath thinking, oh, I hope I don't have too much paint, and it worked. So it was great. So I took some little leaves. I think I got these from Amazon in that finial cap from Hobby Lobby, and I painted them with that rich espresso. Then I painted some letters from Hobby Lobby with my burnt orange. I'm going to use my Tight Bond multi-purpose glue, my quick and thick multi-purpose glue. I'm going to go all over the back of these leaves, and I'm going to lay them in place. I laid them out like I wanted them, and I'm just going to glue them right back where they were. And then I'm going to use that same glue on the back of my letters, and I was making sure to cover each of the leaves, the hole on each of the leaves. And then after that, I'm going to use the same glues with the hot glue here, and I'm going to attach this finial cap to the top part of my sign. And I was just kind of trying to make this look a little bit like a pumpkin. It doesn't really look like a pumpkin other than with the finial cap on top, but that's kind of what I was going for. So I took, I think, 5 of these tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to glue them hot end to end with my hot glue. Then I'm going to paint it with that burnt orange. And this is where I was like, oh, I barely had enough for this. And then I took some of my hula skirt, which you could use raffia, and which is pretty much the same thing. And I'm going to just tie it around my finial cap, which then I loosened my finial cap and had to re-glue it, but I didn't show you that part. Anyways, I'm just going to tie it tight, and then I'm going to cut off the ends, and then I'm going to take another one of those little leaves. Oh, no, I'm going to use my Titebond glue and hot glue to glue those tumbling tower blocks to the back for a stand. And I should have painted the white splotches that I got in the back. Oh, well. And then I added a leaf to the front of the knot on my raffia, and I love how this came out. I think it is so stunning and so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And the final reveal is coming right up. Thank you all so very much for watching today. If you're new here, again, before you leave, make sure you hit that red subscribe button before you go. And then don't forget, you guys, to give me that thumbs up and comment. I truly appreciate it. I will be back on Wednesday with a special collaboration with some friends, so stay tuned for that. And with all that being said, you guys, I really hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.